Hi guys and girls, Rose Burnett here, Mind Body Soul Balance Coach, and this is your daily inspiration. So today we're going to be talking about how do you release fear and doubt. And that can be about any aspect of life, but today I want to focus on your divine gifts and talents, the things that you want to achieve in life. Often we can have, and this came up in terms of a question on my YouTube channel, right? It came up this week about somebody made a comment about, I'm trying my hardest to release the fear and doubt I have about my gifts and talents, and I'm going to fly. I want to fly, I think we all want to fly, right? What do we mean by that? Take off, take a leap of faith, go after what it is you want, believing in yourself. How do you have that self-belief? When fear and doubt's always going to come up in any aspect of life because it's just a natural state. It's one of our emotions that we carry within us as humans, back in the ancient times, fear kept us alive, right? There would have been a lot of instances where we needed to rely on fear as warning signs, hey, not get eaten by an animal, not fall down some, crevice, whatever it is, starving, because you haven't gone collected your food. We always had that fear. It's a natural emotion, right? The key to it is not to allow fear to overrun your life. And often what happens is, fear can come up in small levels and it can come up in quite significant levels within yourself, depending on how big a challenge is that you want to go for, or how big a dream is you want to go for, or how big a goal is you want to go for. Obviously, what I've learned, right, is when you start pushing through fear and you start working towards what you want, and whilst that fear still comes up and you push through it, right, you start getting a little bit more comfortable with it. It's never going to go away, right? But let's specifically talk about, because often in terms of fear and doubt about your own gifts and talents, that comes down to also self-worth and self-love, right? It's not just fear-based. It's about belief in self. And if I can share with you, I've had many, many businesses over the years, everything from restaurants to my own giftware business to online shops to a global jewelry business. When the bead craze took off, I've had marketing businesses. So all sorts of things, right? So in terms of, I think I can share with you, one of the things that challenged me the most was running a global tele summit, right? Interviewing experts around the world in terms of social media, when social media was just taken off. And these are big people in terms of their influence within the industry, mostly American, Canadian. I'm Australian, by the way. I think there was one Australian. But it really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I was working with a coach at the time in terms of business. A lot of the stuff I was doing then was around coaching small businesses. And the reason I share this story with you is about how to push through fear, how to have that self-belief. It was something I'd never done, right? I had done a few interviews with people in terms of stuff I was doing around small businesses. We did Skype interviews and stuff and did a few webinars, right? But this was big, and it was something that was going to run over 2 weeks. But I had to, one, get hold of these people and get them to agree to be interviewed. A lot of them have written books and all sorts of things, and then there was the interview itself, right? Hoping that we're running this live interview, one, not going to stuff it up, or the connection drop out when you've got someone that's reasonably important standing or sitting in front of you, that you don't lose half the conversation and go, hey, that didn't work. So there was all that sort of pressure on myself, right? And there was a bang load of marketing I had to do with it as well. And it's things like that where you think, wow, this is bigger than me. Can I do it? Can somebody else do it better than me? Well, probably they can do it better than you, for sure. There's always going to be those people. There's always going to be people, though, that need your message, your story. That brought a lot of value, that series, to a lot of small business owners, even to me personally, interviewing them was an absolute delight, and I learned so much from them. As experienced as I was in marketing, it brought a whole lot to me. In terms of my own personal growth, when you do those kind of challenges, I'm not suggesting you need to do something that big, right? But when you start challenging yourself to do things that are out of your norm, out of your comfort zone, oh my goodness, it takes you to a whole different level of how you feel about your own competency, right? It doesn't matter if you make mistakes along the way. You're always going to make mistakes along the way when you're trying something new. But you learn from it, yeah, and it brings so much more self-confidence into self, so much more self-worth. But you just know that, okay, I've managed that. Then you know that you can manage something else, yeah, something a little bit more challenging. That's how you grow. Now, there could have been an opportunity for me to go, oh, I can't do this, I don't want to do it, right? There's often been instances way back when in my life that have held me back by fear. I think we've all had those experiences where we've just passed on an opportunity, or we've withdrawn from something, gone and, pretended that we're not available or something, right? Because fear has got the better of us. And it's about not allowing fear to stop you in your tracks, not allowing fear and doubt about your own gifts and talents to hold you back, because there's always going to be competition. People ask me often, all the time, doesn't matter what business I'm in, right? They often ask me, well, how's your competition? Okay, I don't care. When you start focusing on your competition, you take your focus off your own business. You take your focus off your own goals and dreams. You take your focus off your own uniqueness. Why would you want to copy somebody else? Just be you. I don't give a toss what the competition's doing. I'm focused on what I'm doing, right? There's often things where I look at people in different industries, and absolutely modeling is amazing, right? What do I mean by modeling? So if you're somebody that wants to move through fear and doubt, and sometimes you're not really sure on how to approach things, modeling is a great way of looking at what other people are doing, particularly when they're doing really well with creating sales funnels or sales generation or making money from something that you want to do the same thing with, right? Is you have a look at the techniques that they're using. You don't want to copy what they're doing, right? But there might be things that they're using that you can use in your own business in terms of approach, right? So that's amazing. But in terms of your own qualities, your own skills, your own experience, there's always going to be somebody on their path that you can help that's 2 or 3 steps behind you, right? That will absolutely get benefit and value out of what you can share with them. Whether that's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's yourself in terms of, guidance, advice, whatever it is, we all have different gifts and talents within us. That's how our soul light came into this world. And you may, over time, get more revelations as to what your intrinsically, your divine gifts and talents are. You might already naturally know them. You might be somebody creative that wants to do art or music and then you're sitting there going with your fear and doubt, but there's so many more people that are already doing it that are better than me. They all started off the same place you did. If they'd let fear and doubt hold them back, could you imagine, let me give you a few examples. Could you imagine if we never had Pink, the singer Pink in our world? That's if you like your music, obviously, or appreciation to it. If she'd had fear and doubt and never shone those talents into our world, how much we would have missed out on. What if we didn't have the Michael Jacksons or the Martin Luther Kings, right? The people that have got a message, if they stood back and went, I'm going to let fear and doubt overcome my message or what I want to put out to the world, how much we all missed out on. Guaranteed within you there's something of absolute value in terms of your divine gifts and talents that are totally amazing that you can share with the world. And what does it take to put it out there? You've just got to walk through the fear and take the step, and the next step after that. The more you do that, the more self-confidence you gain, the more you get comfortable in that space, the more you become uncomfortable with the unknown, the more you, there's always uncertainty. You never know if something's going to work out, but you keep experimenting. Experimentation is amazing, because you learn so much along the way. You'll find some things that don't work, and you go, that didn't work. So what? Shrug it off. It's a learning curve. Don't beat yourself up about it. Do you know what I mean? I hope this helped. If you've got any questions, any areas that you want guidance on in terms of the daily inspiration that you want me to tackle, let me know in the comments box below. And for now, much love, much light. Namaste.